let's talk about this iPhone. So this isn't none of this. This is not concrete news, right? This isn't something that we know for sure. The iPhone 13 isn't even going to be available until 2021, and but there's a mock-up of it. And of course, if anyone gets a hold of any kind of mock-up or some kind of paper display or paper prototype or whatever, they're going to show it off. And so that's how our news coverage is usually. It's just get the news out before anyone else does. So this article from Apple Insider is talking about a questionable mock-up of the iPhone 13, shows USB-C under display Face ID. I mean, the rumors already have been talking about that the iPhone 13 wasn't even going to have USB-C, that it was going to be completely portless, and this prototype is already knocking that notion. I do think though that the iPhone 13 will probably be portless. I think that's my assumption on it, but let's talk about it. A 5.5-inch iPhone 13 for 2021, and it's this one here on the right, may sport a USB-C connector and notch-free design if a new 3D printed mock-up apparently sourced from leaked schematics and information is accurate. Though the iPhone 12 lineup has yet to be announced, rumors about the iPhone 13 sourced from accurate leakers are already circulating online. And just real quick, I don't know if this is supposed to be the mock-up for the iPhone 12. I'm assuming it is, but this notch is way too big. I know that the notch for the iPhone 12 is supposed to be a lot smaller. But yeah, just FYI. On Thursday, Japanese site Mac Otakara shared a new mockup reportedly obtained from sources inside Alibaba of a supposed 5.5-inch iPhone with a notchless design. In a YouTube video a few days prior, the site shared similar mockups of the 2020 iPhone 12. So I'm going to play it here just so you guys can see this mockup. Actually, let me make this a little smaller so you can see the whole thing. So yeah, the big thing on it is an under display camera. I wonder if that's something they're really going to do. I would love to see it because I'd love for Apple to get rid of the notch on the iPhone. I mean, I use my iPhone every day. It's not something that I notice, you know, every time I use it, but I would love to have a notchless design. This has 5 dots in the back. I don't, obviously it's a prototype, so none of it is done. We don't even know if this is the real thing or not. And I guess he's showing here that it has a USB-C connector. So we'll continue on. Along with ultra-thin bezels, the newest mock-up features a true depth and FaceTime camera setup located in the front center, and the site claims that Apple could use Samsung's under-display technology to make it work. So it also makes me wonder is Apple going to be the first to do an under display, or is it going to be Samsung, or is it going to be, well, I mean, it might be another company, right? Maybe it's OnePlus or whatever, but I wonder which one of the big companies is going to do the under the display camera first. I don't see Apple doing it that quickly just because they usually take longer before they release a feature like this. Also because they usually want to perfect it before it comes out. Although when Face ID came out, I didn't think it was the best thing when it came out on the iPhone 10, but you never know. So interestingly, Mac Otakara's mockup also features a USB-C connector on the bottom. That makes the site an outlier as far as the ports for the 2021 iPhones. I also don't believe that Apple will release an iPhone with USB-C ever. I still believe, and I think John Processor was the one who pointed that out, that the iPhone would probably go portless before it ever used USB-C. And I kind of agree with that. I don't think Apple wants to switch things up and go USB-C, because even if their plan is to go portless, what are they going to go USB-C for 1 year, 2 years at most? I just don't see it happening. So it says here, instead relying on wireless charging and a smart connector, analyst Ming-Chi Kao, who has a long track record of accurate forecasts, says that the iPhone 13 lineup will have a completely wireless experience. And I can see that. It wouldn't surprise me if it would. My question is, if Apple were to release an iPhone like that, do you think they would do a completely portless phone and a completely notchless phone at the same time? Because that would be I mean, that would be cool to see just because it's technology kind of, I guess at its forefront or, in the most forward way possible. I can't say Apple is the most forward company either, but you know what I'm saying. A completely notchless design, a completely portless design. That would be interesting to see. So it says here on the rear side, the mockup features an early camera module with 5 dots that suggests testing different camera modules. In May, a leaker claimed that the iPhone 13 could sport a 4 camera setup with LiDAR technology, which is what's going to be coming on the iPhone 12, not 4 cameras, right? 3 cameras with LiDAR. The Japanese site says this is just one prototype under development, so it's possible that it depicts a design that will ultimately not be used. Mac Otakara admits that it is, quote, highly likely that it won't end up being a final model. And I agree. If anything, kind of a fluff article, but it's a prototype to share, and it brings up the conversation of when Apple is going to offer a notchless design. When is anyone going to offer a notchless design? Or, I mean, there are notchless designs now with a selfie pop-up camera, which is something I want. But when are they actually going to get rid of a selfie pop-up camera? When are they going to get rid of a notch or a punch hole punch design, whatever, and they actually end up with something under the display? I don't know how good that technology is. We've seen videos of it happening, but I don't know how good it is. Obviously, it's not that good if it's not out yet. Because even companies that know that they can't, even companies that half-ass it will still put it out. Certain companies will do it, and there's really been nothing out for it yet. I hope they are not removing the charging port and go full wireless as rumors are suggesting. Wait, you hope they're not removing it? Oh, so you want them to have the port. Yeah, I hear you there. I would rather, so for me, to be honest with you, I'd rather they get rid of the lightning port, put the USB-C port in there, so then phones can be more universal and we can still access the phones the way we need to. But I think that day is coming where they're going to be getting rid of it all. I mean, I feel you. I would rather have that as well. I just don't know if that's going to be a thing. Deepak says Apple is a perfectionist, usually not an innovator, and that's a great way of putting it. They want to get it right before they put it out. And I agree. I feel the same way. Yeah, Mint Arcade. Welcome, man. I know it's super late for you. Mint Arcade, what's going on? Apple's Lightning connector is still USB-C 2.0. Yuck. Yeah, I'm ready for this Apple Lightning connector to be gone, but you know Apple. I mean, imagine how much money Apple has made off of their Lightning connector. I mean, tons with that proprietary system. And why would Apple switch? They have no reason to switch at this point. Let's see here. Deepak says Samsung, LG, Google, Huawei innovate and throw new tech to consumers as lab experiment testers. Yep, I said that before too. We are like the guinea pigs for a lot of that stuff. I mean, look at foldable phones, and people are paying $1,500 or whatever to be that guinea pig. I mean, obviously, it has a benefit for them as well. They get to show it off and whatever, and be like, hey, I have the latest and greatest, but I mean, I can't spend the money for it. I can't see myself doing it. I see Team Verizon says, I can't imagine a portless phone, to be honest. I like my cables. I'm the same way. I still connect wired through everything. I've talked about this with you guys before. I don't, even though I have a ton of phones that have wireless capability, wireless charging capability, I don't even use any of it. I still plug up my iPhone 11 Pro. I still plug up my Pixel 4, and I do with the rest of my phones. That might change sooner or later. It's not happening right now. So let's see here. Y says, I think the quote normal phones will go with USB-C, but max 18 watt, and the pros will go with ultra fast wireless. I can see that too. I mean, that's just the way that tech has been going, right? You look at the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, they get rid of that because, you know, I just love how the marketers try to make it look like if you have wired earbuds or wired headphones, that's the poor that's the poor way of doing it, right? Everything wireless, everything portless, because that's what the rich people do. That's what the elite do. I see Adam Reviews Tech here. Adam Reviews Tech. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you. I expect Apple to to do use this year's redesign for the 12 for at least 2 years. So maybe the iPhone 13 is notchless and portless, but there is an iPhone 12s for 2021. Okay, so wait. Um, so this year they're gonna Oh wait, I expect Apple this year's redesign for at least 12. So because Apple, right, for the iPhone 12 this year, it is going to be a smaller notch, right? It's going to have thinner bezels. So there's going to be a 12 and then a 12s, right? In 2021. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. It took me a second to kind of like put all of that in my head. And so we're talking notchless and portless in 2022. Is that what you're saying? I can see that. And why I think why was saying the same thing. So but either way, Adam reviews tech. I'm assuming you are a tech YouTuber. I'm assuming by the channel. Adam, thanks for making it the stream, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Um, okay, let me scroll. Adam says, "God, I butchered my last comment." You're good. You're good. Hopefully, I translated that properly. Y 2019 says, "I think 2021 will be the beginning of the actual under display phones, and Apple will adopt it at 2022." Yeah. And then Mint Arcade says, "A little forehead plus chin is way better than notch." Completely agree. Completely agree. Brian and I have talked about this as well. I would rather have a forehead and a chin on a phone instead of a notch. You know, go ahead and put the selfie camera up top there, and then if you're going to give us a forehead and chin, might as well give us our front facing dual stereo speakers, right? Might as well give us that. I would rather have that than any kind of notch, any kind of teardrop, any kind of hole punch, whatever you want to call it, design that they're putting it there.